Still need to clean the garage up a bit more, but I'm currently making body mounts from where my actual body sub rails are going to be, and this is going to be the tab for it. And I wanted to make a point that this is about $9 at O'Reilly's or AutoZone and whatnot. And all it does is, if you basically have a piece of steel and you need or any kind of material, and need a very precise little location for the hole, you just basically do this. And then you have another one that you have to ignore while you're drilling. So that's about it. It just makes a really nice little spot to locate where you're needing to drill and other precise things. Every time I try and do a video, are you done, train? Probably not. Anyways, here is some plates of 3x4 I've cut out that are going to weld on to where my 1x2 is. That's just basically to spread out the load from where these are going to be going into the inner structure of the sheet metal that is the back half of the Model A body. I've got a bunch of stuff out of the way and I can't actually open this particular door as I've got it clamped shut with one of the giant ones I was using to help make sure everything was square while I was trying to weld in a really tight area the backside of the 2 1/8 plates of steel to make it where my door jambs are really solid. The plan tonight is hopefully we'll just get everything measured, replicate how tight the door jamb is being held shut on the same side, make some measurements of, well, actually clamp along this actual door jamb area here and make sure it's the same distance at the top as the bottom, just using some wood shims. And I can trust up to about this area, since anything past this is just kind of random fabrication that may or may not change. But I can trust where the old part of the door or the Model A door is and go from there and clamp it to this inner structure of what was the door jamb. And I've got a few other, just train. So I've got a few other things I can measure from there to make sure everything is square for how the body is going to be falling side to side, as well as one side might be further forward than the other, and a few other random things. I'm just trying to make this concise of just showing you guys where I'm at, where in probably another half hour or so after I get some food, I'm going to be back here and just kind of start welding and everything, and hopefully the back of the Model A body will actually be one piece tonight. I'm going to continue welding on the A because we've got the door jambs almost done. I've tacked both areas of the sub rails to what's left of the door jamb piece of the rear half of the body, and I've got clamps holding the same distance of the door structure together on both sides, and clamp there, and a vice clamp, or I can't remember, C-clamp thing going on up here. I can't remember the name of it because just got off work and I'm a little tired. And same thing going on over there, same dimensions and everything. I've got my plate actually welded in over here and tacked to the 1x2 so I can shift it around and whatnot until I get that finalized. That is close enough of a distance I can weld it together with what's left of the other chunk of 1x2 because I'm just reusing what I've got. It's close enough to be safe. So yeah, good plans with that. Hopefully I'll be able to open the doors on this thing tonight, and I'll bug you guys later. Well, got a few things done today. Got the house, or another house payment done. Festive is getting a free wash while I'm gonna throw all these boxes and some other things. And yeah, took some scrap in, made $37. Just been pretty busy day. And the best thing of all, my Australian spider finally showed back up. You can tell because he's upside down the whole time. Alright, I'm just going to stop rambling and start working on the A again. Trapped in the A at the moment. Everything's correct in the terms of the pitch and height of everything, since I fixed the front edge where the front part of the cowl was square on both sides but it drifted down on the passenger's side. I fixed that. Same distance from here to here now, and a few other things I measured. It's not anything off in terms of how far back on the frame and whatnot. And the body's kind of sitting on one block of wood way back there. However, I kind of goofed up. I laid some tacks that don't want to break off of this temporary 1x2 to get some measurements from, referencing that for height and so forth. I'm going to have to figure out how I can cut or break that little piece off, and then I'll be able to measure with the tape measure that's also trapped in here with me somewhere. and get this piece that I was using as a brace in the far back cut down and just welded in place to my little plates to help reinforce the panels. Then, well, I might have to try and crawl from under here or over the door again and grab some more 1x2 if this stuff on the floor doesn't work, to kind of help get more of a structure in the back, or just start making the inner parts of the door frame stronger to build up, and then over to tie into this. And then I'll have a door jamb that hasn't been on here for probably 40 years or more. Anyhow, I've got to go talk to the neighbor. They want me to do landscaping for them because they seen what I was goofing around here. I'll try and figure out a way out of here. Well, the perpetual train is in the background again. I've measured from a few different points on basically the subrail and the frame to make sure that the rear beam here, that's like this one, is square with the dimensions of how far back it is from the door pillar and the height of it to the actual spot I can reference on here for the door, or the kind of the rear window panel is the same from this side to that side. I did start to run out of things, but I made sure the same thickness of everything from this side to that side is the same. It's just a little funky, and then I just kind of used some other things to kind of keep everything square, hence the use of the giant 2x4 steel. So yeah, everything's really cool. It's a square distance from here to here, basically. I just did a really paranoid different way of doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna finish blazing this in because it's tacked already, and then move to the rear half, and maybe someday I won't have a train that's in the background and dealing with allergies. Anyhow, I've got the same thickness of wood on either side of the A. Got 3 stir sticks that are the same size on either side. I had to tap, that side in. Usually that was a loose side from what I was having, because the body was this way. It's quite literally just how the body is sat and been crooked for probably decades or so. Anyhow, that's all square. I know the height of the body is pretty much square in the back, but I'm still going to be measuring that and leaving these pieces of wood in as long as I can. And pretty much I just have to weld in my little panels. I'll go somewhere around here, and then just have my little crossbar. And trying to think of anything else worth mentioning. I've got to make my little risers that'll come up from this, tie into this, and then eventually I'll add my 1x2 that goes up to the door frame. I think that covers everything. I'm just getting a little tired, so I'm gonna go get some stuff done probably tomorrow. Behold the train once again, and kind of silly ideas for engineering. Every piece of this is the same height from one side to the other, and the front side of this body is actually square, but it's kind of leaned a little bit, and that's partially because I can't actually get the square up above, and I'm still working with sheet metal here, but everything is measured in square up to this point where I'm sitting even. So the last real hurdle I've got is if I can make this rear half square, everything should go really smooth with getting the same plates welded in and same crossbars and all that stuff later on. It's just got to get the rear half here square. I've got it centered from side to side using the same pieces of, same thickness and same locations, same way I've even hammered them in. So it comes down to this just having to be squared a little bit. And I'm using a Capri jack to force it to kind of become aligned. And once this piece can kind of snugly fit in, then this should read 0 and be square. Once I get this strap that's holding all of this together here, it's kind of levering all of the pressure right on this point, pushing up on this side. Meanwhile, this side I had a bit of a gap, or it wasn't really a gap so much as it was just the parts were kind of, you could tap them around a little bit, and I had a little kind of a concerning amount of gap here, and that's where I brought the other strap in that's pulling down this part, and then basically grabbing off of this 2x4, and it's pulling it down to where it's actually shoving really hard against this side, just like the other, which is truly making the whole back of the car square now. Meanwhile, the whole front of the car is square, going up from the doors and the things I measured just off screen because I'm kind of tired and there was a lot going on. But my point is, everything of the car is square now, and this will be fun to show on video. Ah. Oh yeah, Miata piece for the roof. I can finally do this and watch comically if something falls down. There we go. It's truly holding its own weight now. There's nothing out of place. It's like same gap here, same as the other side. Gonna shut that off. And same finger gap here. I'm gonna say that's a pretty awesome way to end the evening, and I'm probably gonna be killing a bunch of mosquitoes for the next day or two. So yeah, there's shenanigans of, well, bracing and getting a Model A square after 90 years of sitting in a creek. I'll see you guys later. See ya. Jacked up the back of the car, and amongst, or like just under the Z part of the frame, I've got my little Goodwill $3.99 jack stands holding the car up square, well, as long as the floor is square actually, and it is currently reading 0 degrees sway, which pretty much tells me everything on the car is truly square now. I'm just trying to prove that, like, the thing, no matter what you do, is, yeah. I'm calling that awesome. Now that is a nice cut.